Hello, this is Goku47-1, and I'm here to try to make a quick video. This is a /rant and discussion about rebooting Spider-Man. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? And why ultimately they would do it. Now, there's a couple things that you have to think about when you're thinking about a reboot. Why do you do a reboot? Why make a movie of an old one? The most common one, and usually used in horror films, is because a film came out 10-20 years ago and it's no longer relevant for one reason or another, or the people who might watch it aren't watching it. This is very much why Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, why the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory came out. So you reboot it, you change the tone commonly, you make it different, or you just make it the same film, you just make it with modern day things. That's good for that, and it can be used for comic book movies, but 9 out of 10 times it's not why they do a reboot. In superhero films, comic book films, they 9 out of 10 times do it because the film was not well received, and they feel that continuing this continuity isn't a very good business direction, and because they believe fans probably won't gravitate towards it. So they decide to reboot it, give it a whole new take, whole new actors, and do something different. Okay, obviously so far, Spider-Man has not followed either one of these. So a third reason you do a reboot, and both The Amazing Spider-Man and the inevitable reboot of The Dark Knight Rises follows in this category. Now, when you change the director, and sometimes actors, you get something called a tone shift. 9 out of 10 times, comic book films do not survive this. Some examples is the third X-Men movie, the third Superman movie, and many others I can't think of off the top of my head. This hurts films. So they're thinking, okay, we're going to have a different director. Why not just do everything new? Now, I don't agree with the origin, but before you say, oh, why do the origin? It doesn't make sense. We all know it. Well, they are doing something different, and everybody who says this looks exactly like the Spider-Man movie that came out in 2002. Go watch that movie. No. Go watch that movie and tell me this looks exactly the same. It looks completely different. There are critical characters that are different. A lot of the supporting cast wasn't in that film, and if they were, they played minor characters. Uncle Ben and Aunt May looks completely different. This is so radically different. The even tone of the film is different, radically different. So they are trying to do something new, and I commend them for what they're trying to do. Also, before I end this video, I do want to mention one final thing. In the film industry, when you're dealing with adaptations, basically, when you buy the rights for something like Spider-Man, you can keep making films as long as you keep making films. Once you stop making films for a certain amount of time, the rights revert. That is the worst possible thing they can do. Some films have the luxury to wait. Batman did because it was owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, it was never going to revert back to DC because DC is owned by Warner Brothers. If Sony does that, Disney will get the rights for Spider-Man, and Disney will never let it go, and we'll get a reboot anyways. So before you say, oh, they should have just not done anything, well, do you want a reboot? Because that's exactly how you get a reboot. When Disney gets it back, they will make a reboot. This is not a theory, this is not a guess, this is an absolution. They're not going to continue it for many reasons, but I won't get into it in this video. This is Goku47-1, and this was just my thoughts on why the reboot is actually a good idea. And think about these things. I'll see you next time, YouTube.